Hey, my name is Zachary, and I want to show you how to vibe code. This is coming from a person who has zero understanding of how to code. I've not coded anything in my life, but I have vibe coded a few things. So I want to show you really basically how to set up Codex we're going to be doing. And I want to show you an app that I've done. I think that I've been doing vibe coding for a year and a half or so. And previously, you kind of had to have some vague awareness of some coding ideas to kind of steer it in the right direction. But I think we're really at the point now where you don't have to have any understanding about coding at all. You don't have to give it any coding direction. You can just talk to it and it'll figure everything out. So it's really good. I want to show you how to set up the vibe coding AI and I'm going to show you how I prompt it. All right, I'm going to be real with you guys. This is how I did it. I just go to GPT and I asked it how to set up Codex and it told me it's actually very simple. So all you need to do is type in this command. Now, there's no reason for you to ever know what this command is, I don't think. You can just ask GPT and it'll give you the command. So there you go. Do that. Took a couple seconds to do. And then at this point, you can type in Codex. And Codex works. There you go. So in this case, I have a folder on my desktop called Subtitles. This is the app I want to show you. And we're going to open it up by I just type in the command prompt CMD here in the search bar. And it opens up this, and I type in Codex, and it starts up Codex. I want to show you the app that I actually made. So I'm going to open up a couple of things. It has a front end and the back end. Couldn't tell you why, but it does. So I have to run the script in two different terminal windows, which I am. Now, the reason why I'm using the CLI, this is the command line interface, is because I could use this in VS Code or in Cursor or in Open Code or any of those things. But really, I'm just not familiar. Like, I know how to do it now, but I'm not super familiar with how it or why to use those things. I just do it directly in the terminal, which is the command prompt. I can just do it there. It's easier. Um, Even easier is to just download the Codex app, but I'm just showing you how I do it. So this is how I do it. So the actual app that I have is subtitle thing, subtitle workbench, it's called, where I can just upload audio and then I can edit the subtitles of that audio. Let me give you an example of that. So I can drag and drop an audio here and then transcribe it. And it takes a minute or so to transcribe the full audio. Okay, and here it is. It's my subtitles for this video. And I can click
So this
anywhere.
question of whether civilization
I can click anywhere and I can hear it. It's probably just playing through my speakers loudly. So I can click anywhere and I can hear it. And of course, even humans have not converged on some endpoint with special relativity. Einstein himself created special relativity and created general relativity. Okay, and then essentially with this, I just want to be able to edit the subtitles. So there's a way that if you transcribe this without this app that I have now, the subtitles look really bad. And then now I want to be able to edit the subtitles so they look good. I have it do some things so that there are multi-line subtitles, um, and then I want to be able to edit those subtitles like this. So I can just make a new one here. I have a guideline for where I want to have breaks, if I do want to have breaks. Right, so now I have this subtitle, this is a subtitle block, this is another subtitle block, this is another subtitle block. That's all I'm doing with my app. And I can find words that are highlighted. These are highlighted words if they don't transcribe properly or if there's low confidence for the transcription. Okay, it's pretty simple. And then I can export them and I can normalize it to certain frame FPS so that I can export it into my video editing software pretty easily. It's got different speaker attribution, which you don't see here because I gave it a video of only my own attribution. Yeah, let me upload a different video that has more speakers, just so you can see what it looks like with multiple speakers. This is really the main thing that I wanted it for, because I wanted to edit a video and have the subtitles be in a certain way, and they can appear on screen and look good. So this is one that is a little bit more, you can see there are many more speakers, speaker attribution here, with a lot of people. And this one is edited to what I want it. So I have lots of lines, things are multi-line, words are spread out well. And here I can click and listen anywhere I want.
Refuting observation. Well, dogs are disobedient and they're not universal explainers.
So this is the idea. I can have this, I can edit it, I can change word. Like if there are words that were spoken poorly, like here, it's got things written in, it's highlighted in red. Like even here, there's a mistake. I should have had this be down here like that. Ad hoc. I wouldn't want to split ad and hoc. So like I want to make that type of edit easily, and then I can export this and put in my video editor and then have it there. All right, so I just want to show you the prompt that I used to start with. It wasn't only this one prompt and then fully finished. I did this one prompt to start, and then I did multiple prompts. I'll show you multiple different layers of prompts, and then I'll show you what the final, all the full list of all the features, like everything that the app can do at the end. But this is how it started. So notice that there's no structure to this prompt. There's not like a particular structured way of saying anything. I don't have any idea. Like I don't put any coding jargon. I'm not telling it to verticalize its stack, and I'm not telling it to do things that are, you know, coding words. Okay. I barely know coding words enough to tell you what coding words would look like, but I'm not telling it to do that. Like I'm not telling it to do end-to-end testing, and I'm not telling it um, any of those things. I don't tell it to do user stories. Those are kind of coding terms, which in previous months you would have needed to tell it to do those things, to make a user story, to make a Kanban board or something like that. You would need to tell it that type of stuff for it to code effectively. Now you don't need any of it. Let me just show you here. So here I say I want you to download OpenAI Whisper and use and make a web app for creating subtitles and doing preliminary editing. Even that was too much for me to even say use OpenAI's Whisper was too much, because it turns out that that was not the best product to use. If that was not the best resource, it needed to do something else. So even that was too much. But anyway, I digress. The main function will be to turn an audio file into a transcript, a subtitle file, and a tool for editing. It should have the capacity to do multiple speakers. I will need a space to drag and drop the audio file and input how many speakers and their names. As you can see, I can drag and drop the audio file here. I can put in the speakers, and I can put the names of the speakers. Highlight words that are not clearly transcribed, and the words that are low confidence. I want to be able to click anywhere on the transcript and the audio begins to play on that spot. Okay, so just one more thing here. This whole thing, like I wrote it, I typed some of it and I dictated some other parts of it. So I was just kind of writing. Like again, there's no formatting, there's nothing special that I'm doing here. I'm just telling it everything that I want. And there should be a toggle switch for transcript to subtitles, which is here. Subtitles. Transcript first and then subtitles. I want each line to be either a complete sentence or a clause. This is the part where I want it to like break up at certain parts. But here's Popper's point, comma, clause. Here. Popper goes on to explain. Right. I want it to be broken up in that way. So anyway, I guess I don't need to go through all of the details here, but I'm just telling it what I want. I'm telling it some things like where I can press a button. Here I say, I can just say, I hope that makes sense. Okay. Like again, I'm just talking to it. Okay. I need a line break for every caption. It should be able to do like do a like shift enter line break to make a multi-line caption. And so here it's like this. If it were a single line caption, it'd look like this. But if I do Shift Enter, it makes it a multi-line caption, and it's indicated by this bar at the side. I just tell it that. Okay, and I just go on and tell it everything, and I say a couple other things. So this is how I'm prompting today. This is my prompt. Okay, and then I did it. It literally did in one shot. It made the app, and it was a fully functional app. Now, fully, maybe I'm overstating it there. It was a functional app. I could drag in things, and I could do all the things that I wanted to do. There are still some errors or some problems with it, so I this is the second prompt that I had was this second tab here. So okay, this is a good start. I found a clear error mode. Sometimes it starts repeating with large files. It just repeats the same phrase. So it worked for small files, but it didn't work for large files. I did that. And essentially, what it turned out was that OpenAI's Whisper was not the best tool. I should have been doing a different tool, which is Whisper X, and you figured that out and then downloaded that. I'm actually looking at this now. It was actually the third prompt where we switched to Whisper X because it told me that Whisper X would be better. It also told me that it needs to do diarization. Diarization. I don't know what diarization is. Speaker diarization, but that's how you have it segment different speakers. It told me that, and then I just told it, "Do it, please do it." But then there are some problems with needing to download it on Hugging Face or need to have an account on Hugging Face. I just had an account, so I got on Hugging Face, got an account, and got the file. It's pretty simple. Here I have a place where I just ask Codex to list all of the implemented features. So let's open that up. And here you go. It's got every feature that I have. So input and transcription, you drag and drop, segment, speaker timing mode, editable speaker names, right? Okay. Speaker handling, you can optional multi-speaker diarization, fall back to single speaker, duration-based diarization cutoff for longer files. Okay, it's all these different features. These are things we went back and forth. I told it to add these things or remove these things or whatever. Some of them that GPT just decided to add by itself. Okay, and then I want to go here to Codex. Okay, this is my problem. Look at the implemented features file. Tell me if there's something, if there is another app that already exists that does something similar but better. Easy enough. It'll look through your whole code and figure that out. All right, so here we go. We got this. It did 2 minutes of searching online. It found something called Happy Scribe. With Happy Scribe, you can do something very similar to what I do. Existing app doing the closest overall version. Okay. And since Happy Scribe is the best match here, we could see how much it costs. 90 minutes per recording, $8 a month. Okay. The thing I was doing was a 2-hour recording, which would mean I would need to pay $20 a month to do this. I just made it myself with Codex. Something that's local is called Subtitle Edit. It's definitely not very good. Best Pro Post Production. The best Pro Post Production comparator. It's called Simon Says. Okay, now like here, what I need to upgrade with my app to be on par with those or better. Okay, here and it's saying that the gap is mostly product surface and not core transcription. So my app does everything essentially that Happy Scribe does, but and Simon says and so on, all those things, but it just doesn't look as good, of course. Anyway, you get the picture here. You can even ask it, you can ask it to ask you 5 questions so that it can better understand your workflow and then make better features for that. You can do stuff like that. It's not that important. You can just tell it whatever you want. You can ask it, you can talk to it. All those things work. Any method works. You don't really need to have like a step-by-step guide or a prompting guide. Just kind of talk to it naturally. That's all you need. I think that's enough. You see what I did. You see how simple that was. You don't really need to know how to code anymore to do vibe coding. It's extremely simple. It's much easier than it was even 2 months ago. I think this is a big change after GPT 5.4, and then whatever the newest Anthropic model, that was also a big change, Claude 6 something, 4.6, I think it is. So give it a shot. You don't need to know anything about coding. All right, that should give you a sense of how to vibe code as a person who has no understanding of coding.